please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, and Taryn, just to your far right, please. Right. Taryn, just and again to your right, please, Taryn.
Gemma, just Gemma, just to your right. Gemma. And Deb, just here, please.
And Deb, look to your right, please.
Deb.
And
Once again, gentlemen,
Guys, both this way, please. Let's run in.
guys, once again, this way, straight ahead, sir. And gents aside there.
And guys, right.
And directly in front now. And you guys just here, please. Thank you.
just to your right, please. And just back to your right, please, Danny.
And to your right, please. Thank you very much. Again, straight ahead.
And one more back in the middle.
And just back to your right hand side, please. Just back to your right.
And to your left.
And Joe, this way, please. Joe, back to your right, please.
And this way, please.
Jean Cocteau said, "Cinema is a dream that can be dreamt by many people at the same time." We all agreed that the IWC Schaffhausen Filmmaker Bursary Award should go to a filmmaker whose electrifying debut is a truly distinctive and disturbing vision, a debut to dream about and to die for. Rose Glass and St. Maud.
Thank you so much. I wish I'd thought of something really intelligent and witty to say. This is an amazing honour and incredibly surreal. I think making films is pretty much all I've ever really wanted to do. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, I've spent most of my life being like trying to get a film off the ground and saying I'm going to make movies, and everyone's like, yeah, fine. So to get something like this, which hopefully means that maybe someone will be up for me making another film, is very exciting. Thank you very, very much. IWC, BFI, all of you guys. Thank you.
We're here because the BFI is all about trying to promote getting young people and new people from as diverse a background as possible into cinema, either as directors or writers or behind the scenes, as cameramen, technicians. So we're really, and that's kind of the function of Luminous, which is our big charity event we do every 2 years, to try and raise money and awareness of the fact that the BFI wants to reach out to kids all over the country and say there is a place for you in the world of cinema, in British cinema in particular. Come and join us. It's a very important bursary because, of course, that kind of money can really help a young creative person take an idea or a bunch of ideas and take them on to the next level and really get that vital foothold in cinema. I mean, you need to be able to show what you've done. You need to be able to go there and prove you can do it. And, of course, that costs money. You can do it cheaper than ever before with, phones and so on, but you do really need that support and that help just to step away as well from the kind of grind and the treadmill of survival to say, OK, I can feed myself while I get this idea to the state that it needs to be in.
To allow people to follow through with their ideas, and it's so difficult. I'm making a movie at the moment and it's taken me 5 years to get off the ground, and to find that support outside of the studio system is very difficult. So this means the world. It can be utilised in so many ways. It can go to a writer to develop a script. It can go to the filmmaker to create a kind of you know, a scene or something to help get the rest of the financing. You know, I've got a friend who got a grant to create prosthetics for a sci-fi film, and that's what allowed him to get the film off the ground. Is, you know, push the investors over with that. There's so many ways to use it.
I think it's important that everyone supports film, because I think storytelling is so primal to humanity, and I think it's so important. I think it's the way that we most deeply sort of connect and resonate with one another. I think the human experience is universal, and I think it's very easy to forget that when you're in like disruptive political times, but we're all made of the same stuff, and so anyone supporting film, I'm thrilled. There's my, talking of which, my beloved co-star. Yes, so I love her in real life, just not as my godmother. Yeah.
It feels amazing to win this, the IWC Bursary. It's an incredible honour, and you know, BFI are an amazing institution. We had a great time making St. Maud with them and Film 4, and yeah, getting this bursary now is just very surreal. Sorry, I wish I had something more articulate to say. It's an incredible opportunity. I feel very lucky. I guess going forward, in terms of like how it lets me approach the next project, it just allows, having this kind of financial security and financial backing just obviously gives you an incredible amount of freedom and power and confidence going forward and making decisions for what projects to go into next, and take the time to really work on things, and it just allows you to make all of those decisions for creative reasons, and be completely guided by that rather than worrying about how you're going to live.
You're just looking for forgetting yourself, actually, is what you're looking for. And if you forget yourself, which you do with Rose's film straight away, it's kind of slightly disturbing and intriguing and original. And that, you know, those kind of qualities early on in a film are amazing. And they only get better as the film goes on, I have to tell you. So I hope it gets a wide audience. You know, it's not the easiest film to watch. It's not like a kind of popcorn film, but it delivers, and it's quite shocking, some of it. And it's a wonderful journey through madness, faith and death. I mean, when you're starting off as a filmmaker, you're scrambling to get cash together to make the film, you know, just to justify your existence. You're often tempted to give up your own money or do it for very little to try and get... You're so desperate, romantically so, to get the film made. But you often forget yourself, you know, and you make sacrifices. And so to actually ease that burden for a moment is very important. It also is a vindication, a hard cash vindication to that person that their work has real value, that it's attracted real attention. And that lets them consider what they want to do next, and that will affect them in different ways. I don't know how it will affect Rose in terms of what decisions she'll make. I read one of the pieces she's working on, which is also very, very promising. I think she's quite a prospect, yeah. We're here today in this wonderful location to award the IWC Schaffhausen Bursary Award to a young filmmaker. Well, I don't suppose the filmmaker has to be young, though they probably usually are. It's an extraordinary award because it's given without any obligations or any catches. It's a cash award, £50,000, one of the largest that there is, and it just buys the filmmaker freedom to consider what they're going to do next. I mean, it's literally, and what I love about it is it's an act of faith in that filmmaker. You look at a film and say, that's a very, very good film. You deserve the time and the space to think about what you want to do next.
For these young people to receive a support like that, it is life-changing. It means that they truly are on their way. It's like giving someone really the gold ticket. It's just extraordinary. And that's why I'm here, because I really want to support more and more the dreams of these young filmmakers.
Yes, and congratulations are in order for you. Tell us how you're feeling, what we can expect from this one.
Well, it's just extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, she's just such a beauty, and to see her eyes shining, and Edo, I've known him all my life. Yeah, his brother is my godson. I forgot to tell you that. Albi is my godson, and I'm so proud. I've known Edo since he was 4. So I'm he's got a lovely mum, Nikki, and it's really, really good news. Yeah, I'm really, really proud of them both.
Yes, they're both daughters getting married. That's a lovely, lovely thing.
Isn't it? And for mums out there, oh my gosh. You know what? I never understood what it is to have tears of joy, because I looked at mothers at weddings, I go, oh yeah, it's good news. No, you really feel it, because they're your babies.
You can make a feature film very, very, very difficultly for 50 grand, or you can make an amazing short film. And so, this is the first step to it's really, really hard to get into for a young filmmaker to just get that first step. And usually it is financial, unfortunately. So, it's invaluable to young filmmakers to get these awards and these grants. So hopefully we can get more going tonight. Actually, I'm about to go to Nepal tomorrow morning for 10 days because I'm filming there. I'm doing a remake of Black Narcissus, which is this amazing film. And so that's not happened to me yet, but it will happen. It's probably going to be the highlight, going to Nepal in the Himalayas and seeing everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to support up-and-coming filmmakers. I think a lot of young people who are wanting to come into film often feel like it's such a club, and it's really hard to get funding and really hard to get their art made. And so, it's incredibly important to support our young talent and up-and-coming talent, and especially voices that we don't usually hear from. So.
Well, this is the Luminous dinner of the BFI. We're actually awarding tonight the IWC Filmmaker Bursary Award in association with the BFI. And it's quite a unique award because it's actually a bursary that gives a first or second feature film filmmaker the opportunity to really spend time to work on their next concept, their next idea, and really evolve their creativity without that commercial pressure of where's the money going to come from the next 6 months. Well, I think it's a complex industry. It's very hard for young talent to actually break through. And I think that sort of funding, when you have young talent, whether that's in sport or in filmmaking, to really give them that platform to develop their career to the next stage is absolutely vital. We've seen it in the UK very successfully with Olympic sport. We've seen it with what the BFI is doing, and we as IWC are really happy to be part of that. Judging process is always very interesting because the standard of the BFI shortlisted nominees is really, really high. Year on year, I'm blown away by the quality and the caliber of films we're seeing here, and it doesn't make our job any easier. We had quite different nominees this year, ranging really from sort of the milieu portrait all the way to horror, so it's been very, very interesting.
So the IWC Bursary is the most amazing gift of time, funded by our wonderful partners IWC Schaffhausen. It's a £50,000 bursary award to a film director on their first or second feature. When you're making a film, it's very, very high pressure. It's quite a risky environment to be in, and actually having the luxury of funded time to really develop your projects is so important. I would say to a young filmmaker wanting to get into the industry that the great thing about the BFI is that we operate across the whole of the UK, and we operate and deliver programmes that are really easy for you to learn about the industry, to take your very, very first steps. We're the organisation that opens the doors, builds your confidence and gives you an opportunity that wouldn't have been there otherwise.